Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines: Election Commission uploads electoral bonds data with unique numbers on its website. Filing of nominations continues for first phase of Lok Sabha elections. BJP releases third list of its candidates for upcoming Lok Sabha polls. Delhi court refuses to grant protection from arrest to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in liquor policy case. ISRO set to test reusable launch vehicle Pushpak tomorrow morning. And in Swiss Open Badminton, Indian pair of G. Gopichand and T. Jolly advanced to quarterfinals of women's doubles. The Election Commission today made public a data set of electoral bonds, including their numbers that can help match their purchasers with the political parties that received the funds. The separate lists of the donors and recipients were published by the poll body on its website after the details were submitted to it by the State Bank of India after the order of the Supreme Court. The State Bank of India was the only bank authorized to sell and redeem the bonds, which were first issued in March 2018 and were being sold until the scheme was declared null and void by the top court last month. The Election Commission said it has uploaded the data on electoral bonds on its website as received from SBI on as-is, where-is basis. The Election Commission has directed the Electronics and IT Ministry to immediately halt delivery of Viksit Bharat messaging over WhatsApp. The Commission said it has received several complaints that such messages are still being delivered on citizens' phones despite the announcement of the general elections. In response, the Ministry had informed the Commission that although the letters were sent out before the Model Code of Conduct came into force, some of them could have possibly been delivered to recipients with a delay because of systemic and network limitations. The Election Commission has issued transfer orders for non-cadre officers who are posted as District Magistrate and Superintendent of Police in 4 states, namely Gujarat, Punjab, Odisha and West Bengal. The Commission took the decision in a meeting chaired by Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar. Additionally, the Commission has also directed for transfer of SSP Bhatinda in Punjab and SP Sonitpur in Assam, considering their kinship or familial association with the elected political representatives. The Supreme Court has refused to stay the new law on the appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners. A bench comprising Justices Sanjeev Khanna and Dipankar Datta said it cannot stay the law at this stage when the Lok Sabha polls are approaching. The bench said nowhere in the Constitution Bench judgment was it said who should be the members of the selection committee. The Supreme Court also noted that there are no allegations against the newly appointed election commissioners Gyanesh Kumar and Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. The Supreme Court today stayed the Centre's notification on setting up a fact-checking unit under the Press Information Bureau (PIB) until the Bombay High Court takes a final decision on petitions challenging the 2023 amendments to the Information Technology Rules. The fact-check unit was notified yesterday by the Ministry of Electronics and IT. The notification came days after the Bombay High Court declined to restrain the Centre from notifying the unit. The filing of nomination continues for the first phase of Lok Sabha elections. Elections will be held in 102 Lok Sabha seats in 17 states and 4 union territories in this phase. Union Minister Jitendra Singh filed nomination papers from the Udhampur Lok Sabha constituency today. He filed his nomination papers in Kathua. The seat goes to polls in the first phase on April the 19th. BJP leader Nishit Pramanik also submitted nomination for Lok Sabha election at District Magistrate Office of Kuch Bihar. Nishit Pramanik is current Minister of State Home Affairs. Union Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting L. Murugan will contest from Nilgiri's Lok Sabha seat, while former Telangana Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan will fight from Chennai South seat. The BJP today released the third list of 9 candidates for the ensuing Lok Sabha polls. State BJP Chief K. Annamalai has been fielded from Coimbatore Lok Sabha constituency. Earlier, the party had released the names of 267 candidates for the general elections. In Kerala, the Lok Sabha election campaigns are in full swing as the state gears up for polling on April the 26th. A report.
All the 20 Lok Sabha constituencies in Kerala will go to polls in the second phase of election on April 26th. The notification will be out on March 28th. The State Chief Electoral Officer Sanjay Kaul had informed that all the arrangements are being done for the smooth conduct of election and the strict compliance of the Model Code of Conduct in the state. The three major political fronts contesting in the upcoming Lok Sabha election in Kerala are the ruling Left Democratic Front LDF, the Congress-led UDF and the BJP-led NDA. In 2019 general elections, out of 20 constituencies, 19 was won by UDF and one seat was won by LDF. LDF and UDF have announced candidates in all 20 constituencies. NDA has announced so far in 16 constituencies. Many national leaders are in the fray like Union Ministers Rajiv Chandrasekharan from Thiruvananthapuram, V. Muralidharan from Attingal and the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is contesting from Wayanad constituency. Mayusha for Akashvani News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge today said that impartial election is important for the smooth functioning of democracy. He said that a level playing field must be created to save democracy. In a media briefing in New Delhi, Mr. Kharge alleged that Congress party's bank accounts have been frozen, which must be set aside so that the Congress can use its funds during the upcoming elections. Senior Congress leader Sonia Gandhi termed the freezing of the party's bank accounts as undemocratic. She alleged that the funds collected from the public have been frozen and money from Congress party accounts is being taken away forcibly.
A systematic effort is underway to cripple the Indian National Congress financially. Funds collected from the public are being frozen and money from our accounts is being taken away forcibly. This issue affects not just the Indian National Congress, it impacts our democracy itself.
The BJP today came down heavily on the Congress party's accusation of freezing of its bank accounts. In a media briefing in New Delhi, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra said, if you are a defaulter, you will be treated like one. He alleged that it is not the bank account of Congress party that has frozen, but the Congress itself has frozen.
बैंक अकाउंट फ्रीजिंग का सवाल है। यदि आप हिंदुस्तान के कानून के हिसाब से कोट अनकोट आप डिफॉल्टर हैं, तो यू विल बी ट्रीटेड एज अ डिफॉल्टर। ये जो सेंस ऑफ एंटाइटलमेंट है गांधी परिवार की, हम डिफॉल्ट भी करेंगे और डिफॉल्ट करने के पश्चात हमें इस देश के कानून के प्रावधानों को पालन करने से राहत दिया जाएगा। द एरा ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ एंटाइटलमेंट इज ओवर अंडर प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी।
This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Lok Nirnay 2024 special program on general elections.
Every evening at 7 and repeat broadcast at 9:30 p.m. on Akashvani Gold.
Updates of election activities.
Insights from regions and constituencies.
Experts' opinion and analysis.
In the world's largest festival of democracy,
stay tuned for Lok Prasarak ke saath Lok Nirnay 2024.
You're listening to the news at 9. The Enforcement Directorate's team has reached Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence in connection with alleged irregularities in excise policy. Sources said the ED team has reached to serve summons in the case. Section 144 has been imposed outside Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence. A multi-layered security has been deployed in and around the residence and nearby areas. This came hours after Delhi High Court refused to pass orders granting interim protection to the Chief Minister from coercive action at this stage in the money laundering case related to the alleged liquor policy case. A bench headed by Justices Suresh Kumar Kait and Manoj Jain said the court is not inclined to grant relief to Mr. Kejriwal at this stage. The Delhi Chief Minister moved the court in the wake of the 9th summons issued by the ED asking him to appear before it today. Mr. Kejriwal has repeatedly refused to appear before the agency, calling the summons illegal. The next hearing of the application has been listed on April the 22nd. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has issued an advisory asking all endorsers and influencers on social media to refrain from showing promotional content, advertisements, including surrogate advertisements, of offshore online betting and gambling platforms in any form. The ministry issued the advisory in view of the significant financial and socio-economic implications of online betting and gambling on consumers, particularly the youth. The ministry has cautioned that failure to comply may lead to proceedings under the provisions of Consumer Protection Act 2019. The Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO will be testing its reusable launch vehicle Pushpak at the Aeronautical Test Range in Chalakere near Chitradurga in Karnataka tomorrow morning. ISRO Chairman S. Somnath and other senior officials will be present on the occasion. The first test was conducted in April last year when a scaled-down version of the launch vehicle was tested from the Chalakere runway. This time too, the scaled-down version of Pushpak reusable launch vehicle will be carried to an altitude of about 4.5 kilometers by an IAF helicopter and released after attaining the predetermined pillbox parameters. The reusable launch vehicle being developed by ISRO will cut the launch expenditure and help India in its space exploration missions. The National Investigation Agency NIA today charge-sheeted 3 persons engaged in conspiracy, fabrication of explosives and IEDs, and fundraising for the global terror organization ISIS. The charge sheet was filed before the NIA Special Court Patiala House, New Delhi. In a press release, the agency said the accused were actively involved in promoting anti-India agenda of the proscribed terror outfit. India has launched Operation Indravati to evacuate its nationals from Haiti to the Dominican Republic. In a social media post, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said 12 Indians have been evacuated today. He said the government of India is fully committed to the security and well-being of Indian nationals abroad. Dr. Jaishankar also thanked the government of the Dominican Republic for their support. The Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) and European Union Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation (Europol) today signed a working arrangement for establishing cooperative relations between the two organizations. The working arrangement was signed by CBI Director Praveen Sood and Executive Director of Europol Catherine de Boll. The signing was concluded in a virtual event held today, simultaneously in New Delhi and The Hague, in the presence of senior CBI and Europol officials. India has criticized the Uniting for Consensus UFC model at the United Nations for opposing reforms to the Security Council, citing a lack of African and Global South representation and no change in permanent seat membership. India's permanent representative to the UN Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj slammed the UFC model and stated that it stands against the idea advocated by a majority of the UN member states, which is an expansion in the permanent and non-permanent categories of an expanded Security Council. UN agencies have warned that waste from electronics is piling up worldwide while recycling rates remain low and are likely to fall even further. UN's International Telecommunications Union and research arm UNITAR in a report said that some 62 million tons of e-waste was generated in 2022, enough to fill tractor trailers that could be lined up bumper to bumper around the globe. In Swiss Open Badminton, India's Gayatri Gopichand and Teresa Jolly have advanced to the quarterfinals of the women's doubles category at St. Rickschal in Basel, Switzerland today. They defeated another Indian duo, Priya Konjanbang and Shruti Mishra, in straight sets, 21-10, 21-12. In another match, Indian duo of Tanisha Krasto and Ashwini Ponnappa lost to Japanese pair R. Hirokamina and Y. Kato in the round of 16. Tonight, Indian top shuttlers Lakshya Sen, Kidambi, Srikanth, Priyanshu Rajawat and Kiran George will play matches to secure their places in the quarters of the men's singles. In women's singles, ace shuttler PV Sindhu will also play to seal her entry in the quarterfinals. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Election Commission uploads electoral bonds data with unique numbers on its website. Filing of nominations continues for first phase of Lok Sabha elections. BJP releases third list of its candidates for upcoming Lok Sabha polls. Delhi court refuses to grant protection from arrest to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in liquor policy case. ISRO set to test reusable launch vehicle Pushpak tomorrow morning. And in Swiss Open Badminton, Indian pair of G. Gopichand and T. Jolly advanced to quarterfinals of women's doubles. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.